So I said I would come back and do a next video within an hour or two, but it turned out to be a little bit longer than it needed to be. But we are here, and we're going to discuss what the hell transpired in this trade deadline with the Miami Marlins. So, here we go. So, in the trade deadline, we traded away, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players? No, 14. I think 14. Because I watched the game today. That's part of the reason why I was late, because I wanted to hear what they think and all that stuff. And there's a graph that says 14. However, Fish on social media said there's on the traded away and the traded for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players were listed. So maybe there's more. There's definitely more to it than what they're saying. But either way, I guess they did not. They definitely didn't update it. I don't think so. But regardless of that, let's talk about some trades, shall we? So what we traded for. A bunch of prospects for the Miami Marlins. Yeah, it's clear what the direction that they're heading, and the direction they're heading is the future. It's clear that they want to do. They're looking forward for the future, and that's totally great. Which we heard that before. We heard many seasons with the Miami Marlins about the future is now, and all this and all that fun jazz. It's everything. So, but I think with this one, this feels a little bit different. The Marlins, and AKA Peter Bendix, which I totally believe is Peter Bendix, he pretty much traded most of our starting lineup. He traded most of our starting lineup and some of our pitching. Well, first and foremost, David Hensley claimed off the waivers by the Houston Astros, so we don't. Or Marlins claimed. Yeah, Marlins claims infielder. Okay, that's unrelated to what Craig Mish is saying. Because we're talking about the trades that we had. So AJ Puck was the first one that was sent off. For AJ Puck trade, we got a couple of players, 2 players off of AJ Puck, which was Davison de Los Santos from the Diamondbacks, and I believe we also got Andrew Pintar, as far as I remember. I think that was his name. I'm gonna find out right now. Pintar, there we go. Andrew Pintar. So I was close with the last name when I butchered it. De Los Santos, not Los Santos from Grand Theft Auto 5. De Los Santos, one of their top prospects of the Diamondbacks system, is now with the Miami Marlins, and for what I understand, they are in the AAA team right now. So that is pretty good. That's pretty good to learn about that one. But perhaps one of the biggest ones is we knew this was happening, but we didn't want to accept it. But my gosh, why in the world does it have to be New York? And if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. The Fish traded Jazz Chisholm to the Yankees. And who do we got in return? 3 prospects in return. Catcher Augustin Ramirez. That's one of them. Abraham Ramirez. And Jared Serna from the Yankees farm system. And that is who we got from the Yankees farm system for Jazz Chisholm. So getting the the prospects, one of their top prospects to our farm system is pretty decent. But boy, couldn't you find a better deal with Jazz? I mean, I don't know. I feel sick that Jazz is gone, to be honest. I wish him the best of luck. For all I know, he had freaking 4 or 5 home runs already with his Yankees debut. I mean, that's crazy. He don't often hit home runs with the Marlins, but now he's making national news by hitting a home run with the Yankees. It tells you something. Anyway, I'm happy for him, and it's I don't know. I don't know, man. It kind of stinks. It kind of stank for that trade. So that was that trade, and then, of course, we talked about after the Jazz trade. We already talked about the Xavier Edwards cycle, so nothing to comment on there. So after that one, we have the next trade. This might be the biggest trade of the trade deadline. Marlins sent away Trevor Rogers in exchange for 2 players from the Baltimore Orioles. One is Connor Norby. 2, Kyle Stowers from the Baltimore Orioles. What a freaking trade, dude. First off, Connor Norby, he was the one that blasted to right center against us a few days ago. So he can hit a home run. And Kyle Stowers can play outfield. He can. I love this trade. This was a really good trade. But best of luck for Trevor Rogers in Baltimore. But this was pretty good. This was a pretty good trade, and I liked it. I liked this a lot. Then they traded who was an outright waivers, but now has been traded to the Diamondbacks. Also to the Diamondbacks, Josh Bell. Off of this trade, either get one or 2 things: cash considerations, which they should be wise to get, knowing how poor the owners is, or a player to be named. I think they're going to get cash out of this Josh Bell trade. So, with that being said, that pays off the contract with Josh Bell. At least that's what I think. Then after that, they were talking about what do you call it? Tanner Scott. Where's Tanner Scott gonna go? All the attention's on Tanner Scott now. Who is willing to trade their players or their farm system for Tanner Scott? Somebody needs a closer. What is the next trade? The Marlins trade JT Jaguar to the Mariners. And the pitcher in return, and the Marlins get in return is Will Schomburg. I'm sorry if I butchered it. From the Mariners in exchange for Jaguar. So pitcher and pitcher trade, right there. So best of luck for Jaguar to the Mariners. And then finally, we get breaking news from the Marlins, from Tanner Scott. The Marlins are trading away Tanner Scott and Brian Hoeing in exchange for four prospects from the San Diego Padres. Four. This is kind of a robbery. Marlins get a number 2 prospect, a number 4 prospect, a number 5 prospect, and I believe a number 24 prospect from the San Diego Padres farm system in exchange for Tanner Scott and Brian Hoeing. They get Robbie Snelling, Adam Mazur, I'm sorry if I butchered it, Graham Poley, and the final player is Jay Bashirs from the San Diego Padres farm system. That they are the number 2, number 4, number 5, and number 24. So the top 25 prospects from the San Diego Padres, uh, farm system. And then at that point, they trade away 5 players, probably more than that, considering, yeah. And then, not done yet. Peter Bennick's still busy. They sent away Brian De La Cruz. This one kind of hurts a little bit too, because Brian De La Cruz has been really good for the Marlins. They send him away to the Pirates. Marlins will receive infield, outfield, Garrett Forrester. I don't know if I get that right. As part of the trade, the DLC. And when we get Forrester, we also, at that time, they were trying to see if they can get a deal with the pitcher, John Swig-Shim. They got him anyway. So they got him as well. Forrester, if I pronounce that right, please let me know. But yeah, that's one more. And then one more trade, which I believe that's the last one. Hunter Brazabon ends up being traded. He ends up getting traded to the Mets. He got traded to the Mets, and for that trade with Hunter Brazabon, I believe the person that was exchanged with Hunter Brazabon is Wilfredo Lara. I don't know if I got that right. From the Mets farm system or their main roster. So that he is an infielder from the Mets farm system. Yeah, also a prospect. And yeah, there we go. That's all that happened in the trade deadline. I hope that's all. I think that's all. Hey, the good news is Jesus Sanchez is still here. Xavier Edwards still around. And my favorite player now, Jake Berger's still here, so I'm very happy with that. I even have his bobblehead still. But yeah, that's all the trade that happened. I can't believe I made a video about this, but this was crazy. In a normal day, I probably would not make a video something like this, but this was insane to not cover. To tell you the truth, folks, this was insane to not cover. And you know what? I wanted to talk about this because the Marlins are on track for a bright future. They are. As much as I wanted to hate on Peter Bendix on his early moves with Luis Ariz, which now that I think about it, 14 players now that makes sense because he traded away 5 players before the trade deadline, at least I think, because one of them was Luis Ariz for some of the more farm system from the Padres. Now that I think about it. And then there were some designated for assignments and all that stuff. Now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense. At least I think, but I don't know. Marlins were very busy, and you know what? They won the trade. They're one of the winners of trade deadlines. Yeah, I said it. We won the World Series of the trade deadlines. I'm kidding. The season is still horrible, which it's pretty clear as day that they're now focusing on the future, and that's fine. If you're going on a rebuild, let's find a new direction, and they found a direction. They're looking forward for the future. But boy, this owner should spend money still. I'm going to stand by what I said all the time. This owner still should spend money. Period. Great. The farm system is definitely improving. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, folks. So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more content. We are close to 1K. Your support is crucial, and I definitely would strongly appreciate it. We're close to 1K milestone. We could do great things with this milestone when we achieve it, and I'll have it back for the entertainment you deserve. Let's go fish anyway. I I don't recap these games no more because I kind of checked out after game 30, which, yeah. And I guess one more thing before I end things off. What's going to be the case for the draft lottery for next year? I hope that the Marlins get the first overall. If not the top 3, I hope. But we'll see what happens when the time comes. All right, that's going to do it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Good night.